The yellow daffodil on my desk feels like mockery now. Just this morning, it was hope, a small gesture from a grateful client that made me smile. Now, as I stare at my computer screen for the 100th time, those cheerful petals only remind me how quickly beauty can twist into something ugly. I refresh my banking app again. The numbers don't lie, but they don't make sense either. 3 months of partial paychecks, each one a little lighter than promised. I'd trusted the system, trusted that the occasional payroll hiccup was just that, a hiccup. But now, looking at the pattern laid bare before me, my stomach churns with the realization that I've been played for a fool. Francesca? Beatrice's voice floats over my cubicle wall. You okay? You've been awfully quiet today. I minimize my screen, forcing steadiness into my voice. Just concentrating. The lie tastes bitter. Beatrice has been here longer than I have. Does she know? Has she noticed the same discrepancies in her own checks? My phone buzzes. Sydney, my best friend, responding to my panicked texts from earlier. Girl, document everything. Screenshots, emails, timestamps. Don't confront him alone. My fingers hover over the keys, trembling slightly. The spreadsheet I've built tells a story in cold, hard numbers. Each missing dollar marks another crack in the foundation of everything I thought I knew about this place, about Nathaniel. The memory of his smile this morning, that practiced, perfect smile, makes my skin crawl now. How many times had he praised my dedication, my attention to detail? You're the backbone of this department, Francesca, he'd say, while systematically stealing from my paycheck. I stand up, smoothing my skirt with damp palms. The walk to his office feels endless, each step echoing in my ears. Through the glass walls, I can see him laughing on the phone, relaxed in his leather chair like a king on his throne. He waves me in mid-conversation. Listen, I'll call you back. Yes, absolutely. Dinner at 8. He sets down his phone, fixing me with that $1,000,000 smile. Francesca, what can I do for you? There's something wrong with my paychecks. My voice sounds smaller than I mean it to. I hate that about myself, how I shrink in his presence. Oh? He leans back, radiating casual concern. Accounting's been a bit backed up. You know how it is with the merger. I place my printouts on his desk. My hands aren't shaking anymore. It's been 3 months, Nathaniel. I've calculated the shortfall. His smile doesn't waver, but something shifts in his eyes. I'm sure it's just a clerical error. Why don't you leave these with me? I'll look into it personally. I'd like to involve HR, I say, and watch his expression freeze for just a fraction of a second. He stands slowly, coming around his desk. Francesca, Francesca, after everything I've done for you? His voice is soft, reasonable. This kind of accusation, it could really damage your career prospects. Is that what you want? The threat lands like a slap. I stare at him, this man I've respected for 2 years, and see a stranger. His smile isn't warm anymore. It's a weapon. Think carefully about your next move, he continues, placing a heavy hand on my shoulder. We wouldn't want things to become uncomfortable. I leave his office on autopilot, my printout still on his desk. In the bathroom, I grip the cold porcelain sink and stare at my reflection. The woman looking back at me seems unfamiliar, pale, shaken, diminished. My phone buzzes again. Sydney, what happened? Call me. But I can't call her. Not yet. Because calling means speaking the truth out loud, that my boss is stealing from me, that he's probably stealing from others, that everything I've worked for is built on quicksand. Back at my desk, the daffodil catches my eye again. Without thinking, I pick it up and drop it in the trash. Its cheerful yellow face disappears beneath a pile of shredded papers. My computer screen reflects my image, ghost-like and transparent. I barely recognize myself anymore, this woman who lets herself be threatened and dismissed. But as I stare at that reflection, something else flickers across my face. Something harder, colder, more dangerous than fear. Nathaniel thinks he knows me. The reliable Francesca, the pushover, the backbone who never complains. But he's about to learn what happens when you break someone's trust. Because the woman in this reflection, she's done being nice. The rhythmic pounding of my feet on the treadmill can't drown out Nathaniel's voice in my head. Think carefully about your next move. My lungs burn as I push harder, faster, trying to outrun the humiliation of yesterday's confrontation. You're going to break that thing, Sydney says from the treadmill next to mine. She's barely sweating while I'm drenched, my ponytail plastered to my neck. Our Saturday morning gym sessions usually clear my head. Today, it's just making me more aware of how trapped I feel. I punch the speed down, letting myself coast to a walk. I talked to HR this morning. Sydney's stride falters. And Lorelei gave me the corporate runaround, said they'd look into it, but needed time to review the payroll records. I grabbed my water bottle, squeezing it too hard. She wouldn't meet my eyes, Sid, like she knew something but couldn't or wouldn't tell me. That's not normal, Sydney says, her lawyer brain clearly spinning. Have you checked if others? I tried asking Beatrice. She changed the subject so fast it gave me whiplash. The memory stings. My one work friend, and she'd practically sprinted away when I brought up paychecks. We cool down in silence, but I can feel Sydney watching me. She's known me since college. She can read the storm brewing behind my calm facade. Back in the locker room, she finally says what I know she's been holding back. You need to start looking for another job. And let him win? The words come out sharp enough to turn heads. I lower my voice. If he's doing this to me, he's doing it to others. Someone has to stop him. And that someone has to be you? Sydney's voice is gentle, which somehow makes it worse. You're talking about going up against a senior executive with friends in high places. He could blacklist you in the industry. So I should just roll over? Let him steal from me? No, but she grabs my arm as I start to turn away. Listen to me. This morning I did some digging. Nathaniel's been named in 3 separate wrongful termination suits in the past 5 years, all settled out of court, all sealed records. The bottom drops out of my stomach. How did you? I have access to legal databases, remember? The pattern's there if you know where to look. He finds whistleblowers, discredits them, forces them out. Then the company pays hush money to make it go away. I sink onto a bench, my legs suddenly weak. That's why Beatrice wouldn't talk to me. She knows what happens to people who speak up. Sydney sits beside me, her shoulder pressed against mine. You're not alone in this, but we have to be smart. Whatever you decide to do, you need proof that's impossible to ignore. My phone chimes, an email from Lorelei in HR. My hands shake as I open it. After reviewing your inquiry, we find no evidence of payroll discrepancies. All payments have been processed according to standard procedures. If you have further concerns, please discuss them with your direct supervisor. The words blur as tears of rage fill my eyes. I thrust the phone at Sydney, who reads it with a deepening frown. Look at the timestamp, she says. 6 a.m. on a Saturday? She's covering for him. They're all covering for him. I stand up, throwing my gym bag over my shoulder with enough force to make the lockers rattle. Then I'll find proof they can't cover up. Francesca. No. My voice is steady now, cold with certainty. You know what the worst part is? Yesterday, when he threatened me, he was smiling, like it was all some big joke, like I was nothing. Sydney stands too, concern etched on her face. Promise me you won't do anything reckless. I meet her eyes in the mirror. The woman looking back isn't the same one who walked into Nathaniel's office yesterday. She's harder, dangerous. I promise I'll be careful, I say, but I'm done playing by their rules. Walking to my car, I pull up my banking app one more time. The missing money still makes my chest tight, but now it's not just about the cash. It's about power, about justice, about wiping that smug smile off Nathaniel's face. I think about those three sealed lawsuits, about Beatrice's fear, about Lorelai's early morning cover-up, the pattern Sydney mentioned. It's bigger than just me, which means somewhere there's a paper trail, evidence. My fingers move across the phone screen, typing a message to Xavier, the investigative reporter whose card I've had in my wallet for months. I've never had a reason to contact him before, until now. I have a story you might be interested in. When can we meet? The office feels different at 6 a.m. Empty desks cast long shadows in the pre-dawn light, and every small sound echoes through the silence. My fingers move across my keyboard with practiced stealth. I've been coming in early all week, piecing together the puzzle of Nathaniel's deception one spreadsheet at a time. You shouldn't be here. I nearly jump out of my skin. Ryder stands in my cubicle entrance, his usual smirk replaced by something harder. He's holding a coffee cup from the shop down the street, the same place Nathaniel gets his morning brew. I could say the same to you, I reply, trying to keep my voice steady as I minimize my screen. Early meeting? With Nathaniel. He steps closer, setting his coffee on my desk. He mentioned you've been asking questions. Of course he has. My skin crawls at the thought of them discussing me over their morning coffee. Just trying to resolve a payroll issue. Right. Ryder leans against my desk, too close for comfort. Look, Francesca, I like you, so let me give you some friendly advice. Drop it. Why? I meet his gaze directly. Are your paychecks short too? Something flickers across his face. Guilt? Fear? But it's gone in an instant, replaced by that practiced corporate mask. I'm up for the senior analyst position. I've worked too hard to let anyone rock the boat now. The pieces click into place. That's why you're here so early. You're his new protege. Someone has to be. He straightens up, adjusting his perfectly knotted tie. Just think about what you're risking and who you might take down with you. After he leaves, I sit in the growing morning light, my hands shaking slightly. Opening my email, I find Xavier's response from last night. Coffee 9 a.m. Come alone. The cafe is busy with morning rush when I arrive. Xavier sits in a corner booth, looking exactly like his website photo. Intense eyes, pressed shirt, the kind of face that makes people want to confess their secrets. You must be Francesca. He doesn't stand, just gestures to the seat across from him. Tell me why I'm here. I pull out my laptop, turning it to face him. 3 months of doctored payroll records. Not just mine. I've found discrepancies in at least 5 other accounts. He glances at the screen, unimpressed. Payroll fraud isn't exactly front-page material. What about 3 sealed wrongful termination lawsuits? That gets his attention. And systematic intimidation of employees who speak up? Xavier leans forward, his coffee forgotten. You have proof? Some, not enough. I take a deep breath, but I know where to find more. He studies me for a long moment. Why are you really doing this? Revenge? Justice. The word comes out harder than I intend. Someone has to stop him. Justice and revenge look awfully similar from where I'm sitting. He pulls out a notebook, old school reporter style. Tell me about the sealed lawsuits. For the next hour, I lay it all out. The missing money, Lorelai's cover-up, Ryder's veiled threats. Xavier takes notes, occasionally asking sharp questions that make me see connections I'd missed. There's something bigger here, he says finally. These numbers you've found, they're too neat, too careful. This isn't just about skimming payroll. What do you mean? I mean, he's cut off by my phone buzzing. It's a message from Beatrice. Where are you? Nathaniel called emergency department meeting. 10 minutes. My heart races. I have to go. Xavier grabs my wrist as I stand. Be careful. Men like Nathaniel, they don't just steal money, they steal lives. The department meeting is already in full swing when I slip in. Nathaniel stands at the front, radiating authority in his tailored suit. His eyes find me as I take a seat, and his smile doesn't waver. As I was saying, in light of recent concerns about our payroll system, we'll be implementing new security measures. All financial queries should now go through proper channels, meaning me. My blood runs cold as I spot Ryder in the corner, watching me with something like pity. Nathaniel's still talking, but all I can hear is the message beneath his words. I'm in control. Don't fight it. Back at my desk, a new email waits in my inbox from an anonymous account, subject line empty. Inside is a single line. Loading dock, midnight Thursday, bring a flash drive. I stare at the words until they blur, my heart pounding. This is it, the evidence I need, gift wrapped by someone on the inside. Or it's a trap, designed to catch me in the act. Either way, I realize I'm going. Because Xavier's right, this is bigger than missing paychecks, and I'm done being afraid. The loading dock at midnight feels like a scene from a bad thriller movie. Every shadow seems to hide a threat, and the distant hum of the city sounds like whispered warnings. I check my phone again, 11:58 p.m. My flash drive feels heavy in my pocket. A door creaks behind me. I spin around, heart in my throat. Jesus, Francesca! Lorelei steps into the dim light, her heels clicking softly on concrete. I wasn't sure you'd come. Of all the people I expected to see here, our HR manager wasn't one of them. You sent the email? She nods, glancing nervously over her shoulder. We don't have much time. Nathaniel has a meeting tomorrow morning with the board. He's going to announce a restructuring. Mass layoffs disguised as cost-cutting measures. What does that have to do with the missing payroll money? Everything. She pulls out a USB drive of her own. He's been siphoning funds for months, building a cushion to protect himself when it all falls apart. The company's bleeding money, but he's making sure his golden parachute is well funded. My mind races, and the layoffs are his cover story? He's going to blame poor performance, point fingers at middle management. Meanwhile, he walks away clean with millions. She hands me the drive. Everything's here, transfer records, fake accounts, board meeting minutes. I've been collecting it for months. Why help me now? Lorelei's face hardens. Because my name's on that layoff list, along with everyone else who knows too much. A door slams somewhere above us. We both freeze. Go, she whispers. If anyone asks, you never saw me. I'm halfway to my car when I hear voices carrying across the parking lot. Nathaniel and Ryder heading toward the loading dock. I duck behind a concrete pillar, holding my breath. Sure about this? Ryder's voice uncertain. Getting cold feet? Nathaniel's laugh echoes. Remember what we discussed. Your promotion comes with certain expectations. I know, but the layoffs are necessary sacrifices. You want to play in the big leagues? This is how it's done. Their voices fade as they enter the building. I wait 5 more minutes before racing to my car, my hands shaking so badly I can barely get the key in the ignition. At home, I plug in Lorelei's drive with trembling fingers. File after file opens before me. Spreadsheets, emails, meeting notes. It's all here, laid out in cold digital clarity. The scope of Nathaniel's scheme is staggering. My phone buzzes, Sydney calling. I've been avoiding her since our gym conversation, but right now, I need my best friend's clear head. You're still up? She answers. I need you to look at something. Now. 20 minutes later, Sydney sits at my kitchen table, scrolling through documents while I pace. This is Jesus, Francesca. This isn't just fraud. This is systematic corruption. I have to get this to Xavier. Wait. She grabs my arm, stopping my nervous movement. Think this through. Lorelei gave you this out of nowhere after stonewalling you for weeks? She's on the layoff list. Or she's setting you up. Sydney's lawyer voice is in full effect now. What if Nathaniel put her up to this? Give you falsified documents, catch you trying to leak them? I sink into a chair, the weight of doubt crushing my chest. So I do nothing? Let him destroy people's lives? No, she squeezes my hand. But we do this smart. I know someone in the DA's office. Let me have them look at these files first. Make sure they're legitimate. There's no time. The board meeting is exactly why we need to be careful. If we move too fast and get this wrong, Nathaniel wins. I close my eyes, seeing Lorelei's face in the loading dock shadows, hearing Nathaniel's casual cruelty to Ryder. When I open them again, Sydney's watching me with concern. Give me until morning, she says. Please. My phone chimes, an email from Xavier. Need to meet, have information about previous lawsuits. Urgent. I show Sydney the message. She reads it twice, then looks at me with resignation. You're going to meet him no matter what I say, aren't you? I'll wait for your contact to verify the files, I promise, but I need to know what Xavier's found. She stands, gathering her things. Just be careful. Remember what we talked about. Revenge and justice, looking the same in the dark. After she leaves, I sit in my quiet apartment, staring at the flash drive that could destroy Nathaniel or me. Tomorrow will change everything, one way or another. The thought should terrify me, but instead I feel strangely calm. Because Sydney's wrong about one thing, in the dark is exactly where justice needs to be right now. And I'm done being afraid of the shadows. The city stretches out below me like a circuit board of lights, each one representing a life untouched by the storm brewing in our office. I've escaped to the roof during lunch, needing space to process Xavier's bombshell from our morning meeting. The previous lawsuits weren't just about wrongful termination, he'd told me, sliding photos across the cafe table. They were about systematic harassment, intimidation, and worse. The faces in those photos haunt me now. 3 women, all like me, mid-career professionals who'd noticed discrepancies, who'd tried to speak up. All destroyed, not just professionally, but personally. The roof access door creaks open behind me. I turn, expecting the building maintenance worker who usually catches me up here. Instead, I find Beatrice. I knew I'd find you here, she says, wrapping her cardigan tighter against the wind. You always disappear up here when things get heavy. How did you? I've worked here 8 years, Francesca. I notice things. She joins me at the railing, like how you've been coming in early, meeting with that reporter, digging through old files. My heart pounds. Are you going to tell Nathaniel? She laughs, but there's no humor in it. 4 years ago, I was you. Found similar discrepancies, started asking questions. Want to know what happened? I think of the photos Xavier showed me. You were one of the lawsuits. Almost. She stares out at the city. Nathaniel called me into his office one day, showed me pictures of my daughter at college, her dorm, her classes, her favorite coffee shop. Said it would be a shame if something happened to her scholarship. The chill that runs through me has nothing to do with the wind. He threatened your family? He never directly threatened anything. That's his specialty, making you understand the consequences without ever saying them out loud. She turns to face me. I took the promotion he offered, kept my mouth shut. My daughter graduated last year. And the missing money? The layoffs? You just accepted it? I chose my battles. Her voice hardens. But I never forgot, and I've been keeping records, real ones, not the doctored versions in the system. everything he's done, everyone he's hurt. My hands grip the railing. Why tell me this now? Because tomorrow's board meeting isn't just about layoffs. Nathaniel's planning to announce a merger, one that will let him cash out completely while the rest of us lose everything. She pulls an envelope from her cardigan. Here's what he doesn't know exists: the real numbers, the secret accounts, everything. I stare at the envelope. Lorelei already gave me files. Fakes. Beatrice's smile is grim. She's always been his cleanup crew. Those files were bait, meant to discredit you when you tried to use them. My stomach lurches. If Sydney hadn't insisted on verification, why help me? Why risk it? Because my daughter's safe now, and because you remind me of myself before I let fear win. She presses the envelope into my hands. But Francesca, if you do this, you have to go all the way. No half measures. He'll destroy you if you give him the chance. Back at my desk, my phone lights up with a text from Sydney. DA contact confirms. Lorelei's files are manipulated. Don't use them. Another message follows. Where are you? Need to talk ASAP. But I'm staring at my computer screen, where an email from Nathaniel just appeared. My office, now. The walk to his office feels like walking into a trap. Through the glass walls, I see him waiting, that familiar smile in place. But something's different. There's an edge to it now, a predatory gleam. Close the door, he says as I enter. We need to discuss your recent activities. I do, feeling the weight of Beatrice's envelope in my bag. What activities? Please. He stands, circling his desk. The early mornings, the meetings with that reporter. Did you really think I wouldn't know? His smile widens. Did you really think Lorelei gave you those files without my knowledge? My pulse races, but I keep my face neutral. I don't know what you're talking about. No? He picks up a folder from his desk. Then you won't mind explaining these to the board tomorrow? Your falsified accusations, your attempts to damage the company. He lets the threat hang, unless we can come to an arrangement. I think of Beatrice's daughter, of the women in Xavier's photos, of how many others Nathaniel has silenced with that same smile. I'll think about it, I say, standing. His smile slips just slightly. He expected me to break immediately. Don't take too long. The board meets at 9. Walking out, my phone buzzes again. Xavier this time. Major development. Meet tonight. Bring everything you have. I touch Beatrice's envelope through my bag. Tomorrow's board meeting just became a deadline, not for Nathaniel's announcement, but for his downfall. Because this time, he picked the wrong person to threaten, and I'm done thinking small. Thunder rolls across the city as I hand Xavier the envelope in the nearly empty cafe. Rain pounds against the windows, matching my pulse. Everything's here: the real numbers, the secret accounts, proof of the merger. He flips through the documents, his expression darkening. This is bigger than we thought. The merger isn't just a cash grab, it's a cover-up. They're selling to a shell company Nathaniel controls. How is that even possible? Because half the board is in on it. He spreads out several papers. See these signatures? They're all connected to offshore accounts. Once the merger goes through, the company gets stripped for parts while they all walk away rich. My hands shake as I lift my coffee cup. And everyone else? Loses everything: jobs, pensions, benefits. He leans forward. But here's what you don't know. I found one of his previous victims. She's willing to go on record. Hope flares in my chest, but before I can respond, my phone buzzes. A text from Ryder. Need to talk. It's about tomorrow. Please. I have to go, I tell Xavier, standing. How long will you need to verify everything? Give me 2 hours. If it all checks out, we can stop tomorrow's board meeting before. The cafe door chimes. Lorelei walks in, freezing when she sees us. Her makeup is smeared like she's been crying. I'm sorry, she says, and for a moment I think she's talking to me. Then I see the men entering behind her. Security guards, but not from our building. Xavier moves fast, sweeping the documents into his bag. Back door, now! We run through the kitchen, ignoring the shouts behind us. The rain hits like needles as we burst into the alley. Xavier pushes me toward the street. Go, I'll hold them off. I sprint through puddles, my shoes soaked and slipping. Behind me, I hear scuffling, angry voices. My phone keeps buzzing, riders' messages growing more urgent. 20 minutes later, I'm in a 24-hour diner, dripping water onto cracked vinyl seats. Ryder sits across from me, looking as drenched as I feel. They took Xavier's bag, he says without preamble. Lorelei called them as soon as she saw you together. Why are you telling me this? He stares into his untouched coffee. Because I thought I wanted what Nathaniel promised. The promotion, the power, the money. But watching him destroy people, he looks up, and I see real fear in his eyes. He's going to announce the merger tomorrow, and anyone who knows the truth either disappears or becomes complicit. Like you? I saw what he did to the others, what he's planning for you. His hand shakes as he reaches for his phone. I've been recording our conversations, everything he said about the merger, the threats, all of it. Hope rises again, but I force it down. Why should I trust you? Because I'm on the layoff list too. He needed someone to blame when it all falls apart. The ambitious young executive who cooked the books. I found the paperwork this afternoon. My phone buzzes again, Sydney this time. Xavier just called. Are you safe? I have to go, I tell Ryder standing. Wait. He grabs my wrist. There's more. The board meeting, it's not at 9. He moved it to 8. He knows you're planning something. Rain is still falling as I race to Sydney's apartment. She opens the door before I can knock, pulling me into a fierce hug. Xavier's okay, she says immediately. Shaken up, but they didn't hurt him. The documents, gone. I sink onto her couch. Everything Beatrice gave me. Not everything. She hands me her laptop. Xavier emailed me copies before the meeting, and with Ryder's recordings. It's not enough. I stare at the screen, seeing Nathaniel's smug smile. The board meeting's in 6 hours. Even if we got this to the right people, then we don't go to the right people. Sydney's voice is hard. We go to everyone. Xavier has a contact at the local news station. If we can't stop the meeting, we can make sure everyone knows what happens in it. My phone lights up one last time. Nathaniel. My office, 7 a.m. Last chance to make the smart choice. Lightning flashes outside, illuminating Sydney's determined face. Whatever you're thinking, I'm with you. I think of Beatrice's daughter, of Lorelei's tears, of Ryder's fear, of all the people Nathaniel has threatened and broken and betrayed. The rain drums against the windows like a countdown. No more smart choices, I say, opening my laptop. It's time to be dangerous, because in 6 hours, either Nathaniel's empire burns or I do. And I'm done playing by his rules. The office feels like a powder keg at 6:55 a.m. Every footstep echoes with possibility. Every shadow holds potential allies or enemies. My heels click against marble as I approach Nathaniel's office, where he waits behind glass walls like a spider in its web. My phone vibrates silently, Sydney confirming everything's in place. Xavier's news contact is standing by. Ryder's recordings are uploaded and ready. One press of a button, and it all goes public. But first, I have to give Nathaniel one last chance to destroy me. Right on time, he says as I enter, gesturing to the chair across from him. I've always appreciated your punctuality. I remain standing. The board meeting's been moved to 8. Ah, his smile doesn't waver. News travels fast. Please sit. We have much to discuss. I do, feeling the weight of my phone in my pocket. In 30 minutes, the first board members will arrive. In 65 minutes, everything changes. He slides a document across his desk. Your resignation letter, citing personal reasons, effective immediately. Sign it, and this all goes away. I'll even provide a glowing reference. Like you did for the others? His eyes sharpen. I've been more than patient with your investigation. That ends today. Sign or face the consequences. What consequences? I lean forward. The fake documents you had Lorelei plant? The security team that attacked Xavier? Or something more personal, like what you did to Beatrice's daughter? The smile finally slips. Careful, Francesca. You're making accusations you can't prove. Actually, I pull out my phone, showing him the screen. A live stream of the local news station where a banner reads, Breaking News, Corporate Corruption Exposed. I can prove everything. He moves faster than I expect, reaching for my phone, but I'm already standing. It's too late. The story's running. Your offshore accounts, the merger details, the threats, everything. You're bluffing. But he's checking his own phone now, face darkening as messages pour in. The door opens. Lorelei stands there, pale but determined. The board members are arriving early. They've seen the news. Nathaniel's mask cracks completely. What did you do? What you taught me to do. I meet his gaze steadily. I protected myself. Those documents you stole last night, copies, the security team you sent, recorded everything, every threat, every scheme, every person you've hurt. It's all out there now. He laughs, but it's hollow. And you think that matters? The board will bury this. They always do. Not this time. Ryder appears behind Lorelei, holding up his phone, because I sent them something else. Proof of how you plan to scapegoat them in the merger. They're not happy, Nathaniel. Voices approach down the hall. Angry voices. Board members, executives, legal team. Nathaniel's face goes from rage to calculation to something like respect. Well played, he says softly. I didn't think you had it in you. But remember, you've become exactly what you hated. Using threats, manipulation, betrayal. No. My voice is steady despite my pounding heart. I became what you feared, someone who fights back. The door bursts open. A flood of suits and security personnel pour in. In the chaos, I see Beatrice watching from the hallway, silent tears on her face. Beyond her, other employees gather, watching their untouchable boss finally face consequences. Nathaniel Rodriguez? A man in a dark suit steps forward. I'm with the SEC. We need to discuss some irregularities in your financial records. Everything moves quickly after that. Nathaniel's led away, his face a mask of cold fury. Board members huddle in corners, whispering frantically. My phone buzzes continuously. Sydney, Xavier, news outlets seeking comment. I stand at my desk later, packing my things. Not because I'm fired or resigned, but because I choose to leave. The company will survive, restructure, recover. But I need something new, something untainted by all this. Hey, Ryder appears, looking exhausted but relieved. The board's naming an interim CEO. They're promising full audits, transparency, the works. Good. I close my box of belongings. Take care of things here? He nods, understanding. What will you do now? Through the windows, I can see news vans gathering below. My phone shows messages from other whistleblowers, reaching out with their own stories. Xavier's already talking about a bigger investigation. I'm going to keep fighting, I say, picking up my box, just differently now. As I walk out, employees stand in silent solidarity. Some nod, some smile, some just watch. I pass Beatrice's desk, where a fresh daffodil sits in a small vase, a symbol of new beginnings. Outside, the morning sun feels different on my face, warmer, cleaner. Like everything that felt impossible yesterday is suddenly within reach. My phone buzzes one last time. Sydney. Ready for breakfast? We have work to do. I smile, stepping into the light. Yes, we do. And this time, we're doing it right. The whispers follow me through the office corridors, but they're different now. Gone is the fear, the hesitation. In their place, something new grows: hope, determination, strength. I pause at my old desk, where another employee now sits. She looks up, recognition flashing across her face. You're her, the one who exposed everything. Just someone who stopped being afraid, I say, continuing toward the conference room. The interim CEO asked me to consult on the company's new ethics policies. I agreed on one condition: that every employee affected by Nathaniel's schemes be made whole. Not just financially, but with real protections moving forward. Inside the conference room, familiar faces wait. Beatrice, now head of the Employee Advocacy Committee. Lorelei, demoted but working to rebuild trust. Ryder, channeling his ambition into actual leadership instead of manipulation. The whistleblower returns, Ryder says, but there's respect in his voice now. I set my laptop on the table. Let's talk about real change. For the next hour, we draft policies with actual teeth: protection for whistleblowers, independent oversight, anonymous reporting systems. Every suggestion sparks debate, but it's healthy now: open, honest, focused on solutions instead of survival. My phone buzzes partway through, Xavier sending updates about Nathaniel's case. The evidence keeps mounting, more victims coming forward, the story growing beyond just our company. You know he still has supporters, Lorelei says during a break, her voice low. People who think you went too far, who say you destroyed something good to serve your own agenda. Let them talk. I meet her eyes. We both know the truth. She looks away first. I should have helped sooner, should have been braver. You're helping now. That's what matters. The meeting ends with real progress, real commitments. As others file out, Beatrice lingers. I have something for you, she says, pulling out an envelope. It came to the office addressed to Anonymous Hero. Inside is a letter from a young woman, Beatrice's daughter. She writes about watching her mother change over the years, about understanding now why that change happened, about feeling proud to see her mother stand tall again. She's right, Beatrice says softly. We're all standing taller now. My phone buzzes again, Sydney this time. Turn on the news, now. The break room television shows Nathaniel being led into court, his perfect smile finally cracked. But it's the headline below that catches my eye: Corporate Whistleblower Sparks National Movement. The story isn't just about our company anymore. Other whistleblowers are coming forward across the country, other companies facing scrutiny, other workers finding their voice. Quite a ripple effect you started, says a voice behind me. I turn to find Xavier, looking more relaxed than I've ever seen him. Hear about the ethics policies? Actually, he grins, I'm here about your new job offer. The advocacy group I mentioned, they're ready to meet. I think about the letter in my pocket, about Beatrice's daughter seeing her mother stand tall, about all the others out there still afraid to speak up. Tell them yes, I say. But I have conditions. Back at my old desk, I watch the new occupant work. She reminds me of myself from before, head down, following rules, trying to be perfect. But when she looks up again, I see something different in her eyes, something that wasn't there in mine back then. She knows she has power now. They all do. My phone buzzes one last time as I head for the elevator. An unknown number, but I recognize the area code from the prison where Nathaniel awaits trial. I delete the message unread. Outside, the city feels different. Not because it's changed, but because I have. The buildings still stretch toward the sky. People still hurry along the sidewalks. Life still moves at its relentless pace, but now I see the hidden stories behind every window, the quiet battles being fought in fluorescent lit offices, the small acts of courage that can spark revolutions. Sydney waits by her car, ready for our meeting with the advocacy group. Ready to change the world? I think about that first missing paycheck, about how small I felt in Nathaniel's office, about how fear can make us forget our own strength. No, I say, smiling as I get in the car, ready to help others change it themselves. Because that's the real victory. Not just finding my voice, but helping others find theirs. One story at a time, one truth at a time, until the whispers become a roar that can't be silenced.